Hey guys, so we're finally here with part 2 of the Kaktos interview. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, make sure to go back and listen to that before listening to this. It'll give you a bit of context. But other than that, we'll jump right into things and hope you enjoy the episode.
This episode of the Local Hustlers podcast is brought to you by Flamingo Pools, your go-to maintenance and repair company in the East Valley. Stop wasting your valuable time trying to take care of your pool and let the professionals at Flamingo Pools take care of it for you. Visit azflamingopools.com for a free quote today.
You're listening to the Local Hustlers Podcast, East Valley Locals. Get connected with small businesses near you and dive deep into their stories, mindset, and motives. Entrepreneurs everywhere. Get ready to be inspired by business owners, entrepreneurs, and hustlers that you can relate to and learn from. And now, your hosts, Dallin Huso and Ridge Waldberg.
Okay, so I'm super interested to hear about like the whole process of getting socks, manufactured, designed, getting the right material. Was that a difficult process, or with the connections you had, was it a streamlined sort of deal?
Are socks easy?
Oh boy. There's so much that goes into a sock.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
So no, it was super difficult because we did it all wrong. Because we didn't know initially where our manufacturing was going to be, right? We wanted it to be in the U.S., but there's very few manufacturers left in the U.S.
Yeah, and they're a lot more expensive, right?
Right, especially with the types of machinery that we wanted. And that's why our socks are so soft, is because of the needle point that we use is finer than others and just different things. So it was this huge process. Kristen she's worked with socks forever. She was able to find a manufacturer and kind of do
that.
that.
Team. She's out in Western Massachusetts.
Okay.
So she's kind of been in the industry for a long time in socks, and she's really passionate, and she's really, really good at what she does. So
Right.
How'd you guys find her?
At a trade show.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
You say in Vegas. Well, in Vegas. Whoa. Okay.
That's where a lot of trade shows are.
Yeah, it was at a trade
before
show.
You said trade show. Yeah, it was in the trade show in Vegas, and she just was like, we were working at a little sock startup, and we had a little booth there, and she walked in and just started talking socks, and I was like, "Who are you, the sock doctor?" She's like, "Yeah, actually, I think I am."
I think I am.
So I said, "Let's keep in contact," and we've kept in contact. And so she was on board and part of helping us find a U.S. manufacturer and educating us about what we didn't know about socks, because socks are pretty delicate and pretty intricate. So
yeah, we just started the design process like totally opposite. Mm-hmm. And so we had some cute designs, and we wanted to go that route.
So there's some limitations, right?
Right.
So there's some limitations for sure that we learned a lot about,
Yeah, but we didn't know this until we had a manufacturer.
Correct.
So we chose cotton colors based on the designs, and we did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, nope, none of that's going to work out, right?
We kind of changed because we basically made a decision that the most important thing, or one of the most important things for us, was to be USA made.
Yes. And the quality.
Because it's all, for us, it's always been about quality, right? Like, how do you make the best thing you possibly can? How do you have, I love relationships. I love people. Mm-hmm. I found that working in China is very, or just overseas in general, right, tends to be very transactional, right? Here, how many thousands, dozens do you want? We'll make them for you. We'll deliver them to you, and that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Where I have a personal relationship with my manufacturer, a really, really good dude, and that was something that was important to me, is having a relationship with them and being USA made. So that's kind of what changed our focus, is we're trying to find a manufacturer, thinking that we can go out and do all these different things. We realized that there were some limitations here in the United States that that we basically kind of had to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Midstream.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
We pivoted a whole lot.
But for people that are listening to this, I mean, that's reality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think you know what you're going to do, and you go out and you do it, and you try to execute the game plan,
and then
you're like halfway through, you're like, okay, it's okay to make It's okay to make changes,
yeah.
Right? As you learn different things, or you have different information. That's important.
So we went from thinking there would be like a team of people being able to do the designs, right, to realizing that we had Bruce.
One guy. Awesome.
A one-man show that's like, what, 57, 56? Bruce doesn't do cute things so well, right?
Okay.
So the challenge is here in the United States, because over the last 30 years, a lot of the textile industry have all gone overseas, right?
Yeah.
And so what it's done is there's a big talent gap right now. So that's one of the challenges that you have, is finding people that can actually do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
You can go to China and find people that have been doing it for the last 20 years and they know how to make the machines, or they got a design department of 30 people or 50 people, right? You know what I mean? That all can just design socks. That's all they need to do. Where here in the States, it's a little bit different. Yeah. So we learn quickly that how to work with that group.
Right.
Yeah.
So our designs went from being like fun and bright and whatever to like very, very basic.
Yeah.
More everyday type stuff, which has been awesome. Like, awesome. The hardest thing to work with is the fact that we chose cotton colors before we knew this. So there's the colors that we have now that I'm like, ugh, I wouldn't have chosen that if I knew it was going to have to be so simple, right? Yeah. But we're making it work. It's actually kind of a challenge and kind of fun to like say, okay,
here are the limitations.
What's the weirdest thing we can do with
this? What can you do with that? That's super cool.
And it's helped us change, like focus on like, okay, what are we really trying to do? And we're just trying to make daily essential type socks, right? That are fun but aren't super crazy, where they got like watermelons or pizzas or random stuff that are on them and stuff like that, and just kind of like an everyday staple type of a sock, which is what we want to be.
Yeah, right.
So we've had to change. We didn't think that going into it, right? We thought we'd do a little bit more sophisticated designs and things like that, but we realized that there were some limitations, and so we had to pivot, and we think we like where we landed, but we constantly were learning as we got into this process, because you think you know everything, and you get into
learning.
It, no question, and you
it's
look
always
into
adjusting, right?
Oh, that's for sure.
So I think that's where the important decisions need to be made as you're learning more information. Like, how do you pivot to take advantage of the best the opportunities that are there?
So did you guys have like a specific customer in mind when you were getting started, and then did that have to shift when you changed the design, or is it more for like just
We definitely had a specific customer. I don't know if that has shifted as much as the other parts of the socks. Mm-hmm. I think the targeted customer is who is ordering most of the time.
Yeah.
And who's loving our socks. But I don't know. We added men's a little earlier than we anticipated, just to kind of see how they'd go. Uh-huh. And then, so those socks, like, we only had a couple stripe color combinations, and then we had men asking for like the shorter ones because they liked them, and shorter crews. So we're actually working on those right now. Our manufacturer just finished knitting those.
Nice.
So that's coming. We have a lot of people ask for kids, but we can't do kids with the machines that we have.
Oh, really?
Yet. So that's something we've got to figure out. But I mean, anywhere from, I don't know. My daughter's 14. All of her friends love the socks, and even younger, because they look small. Like, you would look at this and think that it was a kid's sock, right? Yeah. But because it's made with the Supima cotton, it stretches. Yeah. But then it goes back. Like, that's what's so cool about our socks, and using the best cotton there is. Yeah. Like, it stretches and forms to your feet, and it keeps your feet cool in the summer, but warmer in the winter. Huh. But then when you wash them, it goes back. It's not how it's crusty, like he was talking about his other cotton socks, right? Yeah. They don't get all crusty and gross. They wash super well and go back to the theme. So a lot of people are like, are these women's socks? And I'm like, little kid socks. Just trust me. Yes, they're women's socks. It's really funny. But yeah, man, there's just been a lot of things to learn. And like, Bruce still is like, I mean, I can't do the Bruce accent because you can really barely understand the Bruce accent. I'm like, is that English?
Where's Bruce at?
He's in Alabama.
Okay, cool.
So, but like, backwoods. Like, he is from a whole nother, I don't know. He's awesome. Like a swamp person. He's awesome. He's the coolest dude ever. But he'll be like, I mean, if you guys would like, I can't do these 6 and 8 dozens. If you can have me like run my machines, this many things, and we're just like, that would have been nice to know, Bruce. Yeah. Like 2 years ago, we could have made your life a lot easier if you would have told us that. Yeah. And you just told us that last week. So, but it's just like...
Constantly learning.
Yes, constantly learning. But it's fun because he'll call Bruce on just a random night. But he knows, like, Bruce goes to bed at like... 7 his time, which is like 4 our time. Oh, wow. He's like, I gotta call Bruce to see how it's going. Yeah. But he's up early and doing stuff, and it's just hilarious. I have conversations recorded between the two just so other people can enjoy
the interaction.
Right, because it's great.
That's cool. Where did the name come from?
Oh, boy. That was another hard thing, because try trademarking something. Yeah. Anything in 2018 when we started this, that was another thing. I think Kristen found somewhere a definition of a cactus.
Well, so we live obviously here in Arizona,
right?
And saguaro cactus.
We wanted it to be meaningful.
We wanted it to be meaningful, and I think that really the whole purpose of us all coming together. So we have Kristen, we have Allie, she lives in the Salt Lake area, and she's kind of our brand manager and our photographer, and then it's the 2 of us. So the 4 of us kind of came together and said, hey, let's build this. And the biggest thing is we wanted to have impact. We realized that everybody has hard in their lives, right? Like you have hard and I have hard, and your neighbor has things that are challenging in their lives, and the cactus and the saguaro, it survives in really, really
like
harsh,
resilient,
really
so it
is.
has meaning,
like
you know
what I mean, and
harsh conditions and different things, and so the cactus is like super resilient.
That's cool.
Anyway, so she found a definition, but it also has a super cool meaning of like providing warmth and protection.
Well, it does. It provides a home for birds and stuff and animals. Yeah.
Yes. So she kind of found this whole thing, and then it had the Greek. Was it Greek? Uh-huh. I think that's Greek.
It is.
The Greek spelling or whatever. And she was like, what about this? And at first we were like,
a little different.
And then the more we thought about it, we were just like, yeah, that's awesome. And then some people say cactos and like relate it to toes.
Yeah.
Which is really, it's just cactos. But like, they relate that themselves.
Yeah,
and I'm like, hey, works for
us.
us. Yeah, it totally works for us. But yeah, we just wanted a name that was like meaningful, had some purpose, and represented Arizona since the cotton's grown here and the different things. And it wasn't trademarked. So we were able to trademark it. Which was a huge win.
Was that a long process to get it trademarked?
Yeah, dude.
Like 2 years, a year and a half.
Really?
It's
because we had a different name, and the name, we thought that, that it comes back, and we had a trademark attorney, and he took a look at it, and then it was like, hey, I think it can get passed, and then we went for it, and then it came back, and they said, yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And,
it's a long process.
You want to fight it? And then we're like, yeah, let's try to fight. He's like, yeah, I think we can fight it and win. And so then, we got to a point where it's like, you know what? That's just not what we want to do. So
that also evolved.
Yeah, there's the biggest thing is, and I think that the lesson that can be learned is that when you actually go out and do something, you're going to learn. You know what I mean? And how do you adjust and adapt on the fly? And I think that's the most important part of this whole thing. It's like, we thought we had these ideas on how we're going to make it work, and you learn as you go. You get a little bit more information, and curveballs happen or whatever it is, and it's like, how do you deal with them?
And usually it ends up for the best. Like now, like I love our name.
Connecting the dots, going backwards in the rearview mirror. You can't connect them going forward.
I love that it's an everyday sock rather than a fun and crazy that you have to have a specific outfit to match with it. Right. Not so much for boys, but for women.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So anyway, that was the name. And it was a very long process.
That's awesome. So, did you guys want to use a cotton here from Arizona the whole time? Because Arizona is we grow cotton here. People know that.
So we're not from here, Arizona.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Okay.
So here's what's crazy. Again, going back to kind of to Kristen and kind of her using her expertise and in the industry, basically said we want quality.
Right.
We want speed. right? Because, I mean, you know, and we wanted lower minimums, essentially, right? And we wanted kind of the flexibility with your, you know, manufacturing, right? So what happens is it's all about all quality. I think that's why we went into USA made, because a lot of times it's hard with the quality control, and because if you have anything proprietary, a lot of times that gets, you know, I'll be honest. I mean, we went one of our competitors. We knew exactly where they were getting their socks made in China, and they basically said, you know, here's a sock. You know, they put our, you know, they made a sample for us, and we put our design on their sock. And I looked at it and was like, that is not my sock. Yeah. That's somebody else's sock. I don't want their sock. I want something for me. So, you know, with this whole quality piece, if we wanted to do, you know, the Pima cotton stuff, we needed to do way higher runs, right? Overseas, we needed to do, instead of 1,000 per, we needed to do 5,000 per.
5,000.
And we're thinking to
per
ourselves,
design.
Wow.
Yeah, we're thinking to ourselves, man, we don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Again, transactional versus relationship based. And so basically, you know, with the cotton piece, we looked at it and it was all about quality. What's the best cotton there is? It's the Pima cotton. It's the Supima stuff, right? And guess what? It's grown here in Arizona. Oh my gosh. And you know what's really cool? We went out to the dang harvest last November. And we went out there and we sat on a tractor, man, with these guys, these fifth generation family farmers, man. And we're out there on the, you know, on the harvesters, and we're talking to them, and we've got pictures and videos, and I mean, they send us Christmas cards and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And we become really good buddies with them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many other brands can actually say that they know their manufacturer really well. That they know that they know the guys that are growing the cotton for them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us, that's, again, it's all about relationships. Again, we want to have a positive impact on other folks. We want to have relationships with people all up and down the supply chain. We realize it's a business. We realize that we need to make money. But for us, you know, money's not what drives us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's the relationship piece, and it's the impact piece. And from a product standpoint, it's all about quality.
Do you spend more time cleaning your pool than you spend swimming in it? Then call Flamingo Pools today. Flamingo Pools is your go-to swimming pool maintenance and repair company in the East Valley. Whether it's weekly maintenance, repairs, green to cleans, or one-time cleanings, Flamingo Pools will take care of you. Honest, reliable, and innovative. Just a few of the many good things Flamingo Pools customers have to say about them. Ask them about their mineral treatment, which will keep your chemical levels down, allowing you to have a healthier bathing experience. At Flamingo Pools, they know that your pool was made to be enjoyed, so let them handle the rest. Check them out at azflamingopools.com or give them a call at 480-422-6013. Mention this podcast and you'll get your first month of maintenance completely free. That's azflamingopools.com and 480-422-6013.
Has there been like a particular type of marketing that has worked better than anything else?
There's a lot of ways in which we can, you know, we don't want to necessarily narrow ourselves down to one. And quite frankly, I'll be honest, you know, it'd be really, really easy for us to take money and invest it in Facebook ads, right? You know, have it on Instagram or have it on Facebook, sponsored ads as you're scrolling through. And we probably get customers a lot faster that way. It's not why we started this deal. I'd rather take that money that we would spend in all those ads or that advertising, because marketing's really, really expensive, man.
For sure.
Yeah. And I'd take that money and take it and give it to, you know, and give product or socks, you know, on people's feet.
That's what we did. So when COVID hit, we put a thing on our Instagram and said...
Put a little post out there.
Yeah, like... for healthcare workers that are on the front line, like, we'll send you socks. So the first 1,000 we just did from what was at home. And then, I mean, they went like that. And we sent them, we shipped them ourselves and did all that.
Yeah.
And then I had 8,500 emails in my email.
Really?
For requests for socks.
We just wanted to help out. Like, I mean... You know, going to this whole team thing, this whole team concept, you got guys that can play, you got guys that, you know, sit the bench, you got guys that give out the water, you got guys that wave the towel. We realize in this whole COVID situation and pandemic, right, we're the guy at the bench end of the bench, waving the towel, cheering on the, you know, the healthcare professionals that are out there fighting the fight. You know what I mean? And we're like, hey, well, how do we play our part really well? We want to give out a free, you know, those people that reached out to us, we'll give you a free pair of socks to let you know. We know you're on your feet all day long.
Yeah.
We know that you know, have probably an understanding of a good quality pair of socks. We just want to let you know that we care about you and that we're grateful for what you're doing for us.
That's so cool.
And the response was overwhelming, and it was kind of crazy. So we gave out our first 1,000, and after that, I was like, listen,
and then we
I can't just give out socks all the time. You know, I can't.
We didn't have 8,500 pairs of socks to give out.
Yeah.
So then we asked people to help us and kind of did a whole campaign, raised like $14,000, pretty much just from like friends and family and people around us. And then we were able to place a huge order for the manufacturer. Wow. So we sent out a lot. I mean, 2,500 last round, and we're waiting for our second shipment so we can finish all of those.
That's super cool.
Healthcare things.
So that's kind of how we've done it. I mean, basically, it's just like, hey, listen, we care about you, and you know what? We know we have a really high quality product, and we know that the product hopefully will sell itself.
Well, we want it to bring a little bit of comfort. You know, in their things. And I didn't even realize how great our socks were till I started working. You know, and I work at Crumble, and I'm baking cookies all morning long, and I'm on my feet 8 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And I started luckily one of our socks matches their, color scheme perfectly. Yeah. So I just took those socks and I wear them every day. And I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference.
That's cool. I was going to ask if you guys wear them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Daniel, you pass the test.
We do, and I do at work. I just don't work today. But yes, I wear them every single day.
That's cool.
Yep.
I really like what you guys did. Obviously, this isn't the reason you guys, gave out the free socks, but it's a huge branding thing as well. Like, you give out all these socks. I know that's not why you did it, but now the people, next time they want a pair of socks, you guys are probably going to be the first people that pop into their head.
The bottom line is we know we have the best socks that are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way we feel. We're biased, of course, right?
Yeah.
But we also know that we use the highest quality cotton. How do we know? Because it's twice as expensive as any other cotton. Mm-hmm. We know that we're made in the United States, and we have a really, really good manufacturer. We know that the quote-unquote ingredients that they put in there, besides the cotton, the lycra, the spandex piece that actually gives it the, the stretch, we know that it's top-notch, right? So we know that the ingredients are in it. We know that the guy that's been doing the socks has been doing it for 50 years and knows exactly what he's doing. So we know that it's high quality. Mm-hmm. So we're like, hey, you know what? We know we have a high-quality sock. And we know that people that put it on their feet, they'll look at this and be like, wow, you know what, that's unique or that's different than what I'm getting elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why, and so that's our hope is that when people look at that, they think of quality. They think of, people that are out there trying to do good, comfort, And they're like, you know what? I need more pairs of socks.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's more expensive for us to get it manufactured here in the United States, no question. And it's more expensive for us to get it, to use high quality materials. But you know what?
It's worth it.
It's what we are. It's who we are.
It's
all in search of quality. And what's crazy is we don't have, we're not in the retail space where we have, overhead because we have, an office space. We're going direct to consumer. And I think the direct to consumer, platform allows people obviously to be able to focus a little bit more on quality. And we're seeing every single day more and more big retailers that are going out of business because their business model is backwards. It's irrelevant anymore. And we feel very fortunate to be in a space where we've turned our stinking
my dining room is
which
now
we
the
never used anyway.
Warehouse.
How many people use their dining room these days? You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't. We just turned our dining room into Kaktos office. We got 3 or 4 shelves in there, and we got our inventory on there. She's got a little sewing machine because she sews all the tags on there, and by hand. And our daughter clips them, and then we got our kids that pull them off the shelf and stick them in the bags. And
so it's a whole family affair.
Absolutely, man. We work together as our kids, and what was really cool with that healthcare campaign is we had a little pin, and we had a little.
We have a map.
We have a map. And
I just saw that.
Yeah.
And just start sticking them all over the place.
That was a small one, and the stickers were too big, so I ended up getting a big map and pins, so we can do it legit.
And it's very satisfying to watch. It's very satisfying to watch your product. You know that they're in somebody's sock drawer or somebody's laundry bin, in all these different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like, you know what, cool. Man, we're in all these different houses. It's kind of a cool thing. And all the feedback that we get are that these are great socks and that they're well made and that's. The Latin culture says "vale la pena." It means worth the pain. You know what I mean? Worth the effort is really what it is, right? Because it really has been, in some sense, it's been painful, right? I mean, and quite frankly, it's been a lot slower to get it done here in the United States. But again, this to us, it's a long-term project. It's more long-term. It's not now. It's like if you can be patient and you can do things the way that you think is the right way to do things and build a quality product and connect with people on a human level. We think at some point that will, reach a tipping point and we'll we'll be where we want to be.
That's super cool. So if you guys don't, spend all your money on marketing, how do you guys, I guess, market or, let people find you? How do people find out about Kaktos?
Yeah, they find out through our Instagram social feeds. Instagram's probably our most popular one. It's just Kaktos, 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 and then our Facebook page as well. And then a lot of it is word of mouth, right? I mean,
None
people,
of it's word of mouth, or people give them as gifts, and then the people are like, "These are awesome! I got to get more."
Sure, to us, that's the most powerful. Everybody knows that's the most powerful.
Second orders are my favorite orders.
Yeah.
Because the first ones, they're just like trying it out.
Yeah.
And then when I get a second order, I'm always like, second orders are our favorite orders. Yay! I'm glad you love your socks,
So what she's talking about, we actually handwrite the notes.
Yeah.
Really?
So that's a personal touch when you get in there. So when they actually get in there, we have like a little card.
Cute little card, and
she writes a little handwritten note saying, "Hey, hope you enjoy your Kaktos socks as much as we've enjoyed making them, and go out and do good or whatever." You know what I mean? Yeah. And so for us, it's
different every time, but yeah.
But it's all handwritten. It's the personal touch, and so for us, the marketing piece is we'd get customers a whole lot faster.
If we paid for them.
But we think that if we can be patient enough and we know we have a good enough product, that if people can wear them and enjoy it and connect with the brand, that they'll go out and they'll talk to their friends and that they'll wear them and they'll put them on their feet and be like, you know what, we really like these and we like what these guys stand for. We're customers for life.
That's awesome.
That's it. And it's really, trust me, man, it's really, really hard to be patient.
I'm sure. It's really, really especially when you could probably just throw some money into
very disciplined. To be disciplined is very, very hard to do. It's hard. And we're not saying that we've done zero of sponsoring posts or to try to boost posts, especially when we're
pretty close to zero.
But it's pretty darn close. I mean, we're trying to be disciplined, and it's hard to as a business owner, a small business owner. It's very hard to be disciplined because it's easy to get distracted. So if you can define who you are and what you want to be, and stick to that as best you possibly can. I think, quite frankly, if you're trying to build something for the long run, that's probably the best approach to take.
That's super cool.
Just my take.
Yeah. You guys have made it super clear that, your intentions are to make an impact and help people. So how do you see Kaktos moving forward, being able to continue to just make an impact on people's lives?
Yeah, I think we want to continue to partner with, with causes that are out there helping people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whether that's, there's a lot of, what we want to do is we want to shine a light on people going out doing good things, because I think that we live in an environment where we talk a lot about the negativity and the things that the ideas or the beliefs or the the politics that divide us as people, as humans, as Americans, and I think that there's way more good in this world that we just don't talk enough about. And so what we'd like to be able to do is partner with people that are out doing really, really good things, that are out there, that are helping other people, that are having a positive impact on other people, and partnering with them and saying, how can we help you with that? With that piece, I think that's kind of what we're looking to do, and build those relationships with those types of people and organizations.
That's awesome.
It's probably the most succinct answer I've given you this entire time.
Straight to the point. Wasn't expecting to be done so quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, caught me off guard, man.
What do I say next?
Oh, that's funny.
And how about the two of you? How do you guys separate your roles within the business?
I'm the customer service person.
Okay.
So I deal with
shipping as well.
Yeah, and shipping.
Because my handwriting's terrible. So if you're gonna get a personal note from me, it's dude, your handwriting's
terrible.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I deal with all the happy customers, which is 99.9% of them.
Yeah, of course.
But occasionally there's stinkers, and I'm like, Daniel, here's yours, because I'm not I'm very to the point, and he can be all right, take a step back and say things properly and nicely.
Yeah.
I'm just whatever, you don't like our socks? Well, 99.9% of everybody else does. Forget you. No. But he's he deals better with that, and I know that. Same with our family.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, and I think the biggest thing for me is I'm trying to provide direction, you know what I mean, and some patience, and so sometimes that's hard to do because we all have, we have day jobs, you know what I mean, and the other two ladies that are part of our team they're same thing, they have day jobs, and so it's really hard to to try to balance both. But I think the biggest thing for me is just reminding us that we're building something long term. Quite frankly, I want it to be a legacy piece, right? I mean, I'd love to have the manufacturing piece at some point, and I'd love to be able to provide some local jobs for people.
Yeah.
I'd love to get my kids' rear end out there to teach them how to work a little bit, you know what I mean? And be like, hey, if you want something, it's going to take some work, and that's okay. And it's also, again, it's all about the quality piece, right? Like quality and speed are things that we really, really value. So how do we, do those things? Because we're a small sock company, and sometimes it's hard to get the attention of your manufacturer when you're not doing hundreds of thousands of dozens all the time. You know what I mean? And so sometimes it takes us a little longer to get their attention, and sometimes that's frustrating. So at some point, it's like, hey, what if we what if we owned that piece of a piece of the pie, or a piece of that the production piece? So
that's
for us,
the end goal,
and that's where my brain goes. So when you ask, well, how do I balance that? That's what I look at as kind of the future.
He's looking at future. I'm fulfilling orders,
day-to-day operations,
shipping them out, writing the notes, tagging the socks, just doing all of that stuff.
Has there ever been a point where you guys have gone through hurdles or struggled where you're like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, maybe there's something else we should do, or has everything been pretty clear so far that this is what you guys should be doing right now?
I don't know. We burn the bridges. You know what I mean? Like, you burn the ships. At the beginning, you go and you're the commander and you decide, hey, we're going to burn the ships so you can't retreat. Like, we're here and we're going to do this, man. You know what I mean? And we kind of had to take that approach. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're committed to doing this, so we're going to figure out a way to make this.
I try
work.
to jump off sometimes.
Well, the ship is in the water, already on fire, man. So like we're on land, and you can't take a little canoe or rowboat back to the main ship. I mean, that's just the way that it is. And so, there's always times when you have self-doubt and you ask yourself, should we be doing this, or should we not be doing this? And, again, what motivates you? Understanding, like, really, really what, why, your why. Like, start with, Simon Sinek always talks about, starting with why, or like, why are you doing things? And I'm a big person on purpose and understanding why you want to do something, why you want to do it. You want to do it just to make a bunch of money? Well, okay, fine. Well, go do a million things. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
I want to get rich. Well, for me, that doesn't motivate me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some people
Everybody else
but,
might. For me, it's just like, no, man, I want to have a positive impact on other folks, and I know that I can do that through doing this. That's what I want to do. I want to work together with my family, and that's what motivates me. So understanding, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And trying to take more of a long-term approach instead of everybody talks about, and I think we sensationalize or highlight get rich quick or overnight, the buzzword overnight success is bullcrap, man. There's no such thing as an overnight success. You know what I mean? True. Like, you may grow crazy fast when you start the business, but getting to that point, it's a ton of work.
Yeah, and no one sees that.
That's it. Exactly. Or guess what? The Bobiks 10 years ago, 15 years ago, left BYU and went to Oklahoma State, and that experience has helped prepare them for something 15 years later down the road that nobody really talks about. You know what I mean? And so, each one of us have experiences in our lives that prepare us for quote-unquote overnight successes. And so that's what I would remind people of, man. It's just like, listen, try to be patient, try to stay after it, understand why you're doing this thing, and there's going to be time when you doubt. There's no question. There's going to be times when your wife hates you. You know what I mean? There's going to be times when you're just shoot, am I doing this? But I know that this is what we're supposed to be doing, or I feel like it. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge reason why we did this podcast as well. Like, you see all these businesses, all you see is that they're running, there's people buying their stuff, they're successful, but kind of being able to talk to people, you hear the backstory, you hear all the hours and days and years leading up to that point of success and what they had to go through and the hard times basically that lead up to
the paper routes experiences, right? Exactly. Everybody got those deals, right?
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people say, like, isn't it supposed to be easier than this? Like, shouldn't things just work out if they're supposed to work out? It's like, no, you have to go through hard times. You have to.
You don't appreciate it if it's not hard.
Yeah.
If it's easy, you don't appreciate it.
It's so true. It's just like when your parents give you something when you're young, you break it, you destroy it, you don't really care.
Yep.
But then when you get older and you're buying things and like somebody else breaks your stuff, you're like, oh, like a part of you breaks. You're like, oh, that's like $100 right there, man. What am I gonna do?
Or I'll take my daughter shopping, and it's amazing how her pile grows when I'm buying. Yeah. But then when I'm like, okay, you're paying for this. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. Yeah. I don't need. Okay, I like this. So then it's like, okay, that's what you really care about.
You just value it. Exactly. There's more value to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's
yeah.
okay to go through hard times.
You don't appreciate it if it comes too easy.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
That's what just life in general. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
True.
doing anything great, it's hard. It's hard work, but you have to be, you have to be committed to it. Burn the bridges, or burn the ship, so to speak. You have to, you have to know why you're doing it, so that when hard stuff does come, it's not like, oh well, I just pack up and go. You know what I mean?
That's for dang sure.
And nobody's saying that you have to be stupid about it, right? I mean, nobody's saying you have to be financially irresponsible on certain things. Well, these Bobik characters, man, they seem to just keep on going and going and going. I mean, you're like, wait a second, man, you got to make good financial decisions. It has to make sense to be able to do that.
Well,
right?
And we both have full-time jobs on top of what we're trying to do, right? Yeah. Like, it's a sacrifice.
Yeah. Yep. Is the goal eventually to step away from those full-time jobs? And
it would be. I mean, I'd love to coach. I love coaching basketball.
Yeah,
I think the goal also would be, I mean, I'd love to. Where I see Kaktos, I see Kaktos as being kind of being an everyday sock, having stuff for men and women. And then getting into even, some athletic type stuff and athletic piece.
Experience.
Because it's important to me, right? I mean, I think that there's a space in athletic. I mean, obviously you're competing with the big dogs and Nike and Adidas and Under Armour and all those guys, right? But I think that there's still a niche that we can play out there. I'd love to have the manufacturing piece, at some point. I'd love to employ some folks. I'd love to have some stuff here in Arizona, man, right here in Mesa and, kind of the East Valley area, to be like, hey, you know what, we got a small little knitting facility here in Arizona, and we're providing, jobs in the local economy, and I think that's all exciting. And plus, I think from a strategy standpoint, it makes sense for who we are and what we're trying to do. That's hard to do, though, man. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, I want to have some knitting machines. It's like, holy smokes.
Yeah, there's so much. Because even with the cottons, you have to get them dyed certain colors. And,
there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts.
It's
so you
crazy.
have to be smart with it and stuff. But, I mean, I'd love to be able to, to be recognized, our products to be recognized as high-quality products that are made here in the United States and that, that are everyday and people, love them and love what we stand for and are a part of what we do. It's really interesting. So somebody told me when at Oklahoma State, we hit this, look on YouTube, Oklahoma State Final Four or whatever, there's like a shot one of my teammates made. And I've had people come and tell me like, man, I remember, it's like almost one of those things where you remember where you were. You know what I mean? Like if you're an Oklahoma State fan, right? Like, hey, I remember watching you guys and I was at, my grandparents' house, or I was at my living room, or I was at the restaurant, or I was at the wherever I was, right? Yeah. And that's kind of like, and those people, like I realized that those people I was bringing, or our team was bringing them happiness and joy, and they felt connected to what we were doing. And my goal is not just to sell socks. Yeah, sure, you want to be able to sell socks, but I want to be able to create a community and a group of people that feel like they're on this journey with us. You know what I mean? And that they look at what we're doing and being like, wow, I'm a part of that. Wow, you know what? I remember when Kaktos did X, Y, and Z and how I contributed to that, you know what I mean? Or how I felt connected to that brand. And I'm really proud to be a part of that group or that team, you know what I mean, for lack of a better term. And that's hard to do as a brand, man. I mean, I think it's really, really hard because, a lot of it's transactional and that's why, that's why it's hard to succeed. But again, the patience piece and the discipline piece is really, really hard to do, but it's critical to success.
Yeah.
And having that vision of like where you want to go, that's what gets me up all the time.
Yep.
It's like that's what keeps like, holy crap, this is so hard, or you know what, this is not as fast as I wanted, or whatever. It's like, wow, why am I doing this? It's like, relax, man. You're able to do that right now, and so enjoy that, and then keep learning and keep getting better and keep figuring out what the next step is, and go from there. So anyway,
that's super cool. Well, guys, I really hate to stop us where we're at, but I want to be sensitive of the time you guys have taken out of your day to come do this with us. So we're super appreciative of all the knowledge and inspiration you guys have shared with us. But before we close up, we have a fun little game that we want to play with you guys. So how it's going to work is you guys have 60 seconds on the clock to answer as many questions as you can. These will all be rapid-fire questions, things that you like, your hobbies, interests, etc. So Ridge will start us off in 3, 2, 1.
Superpower you wish you could have.
Flying.
Favorite junk food?
Snickers.
Music you turn on when nobody is around.
Country.
Nice.
If you were stuck on an island, what would you bring?
My sandals.
If you could have dinner with anyone in time, who would it be?
Oh, crap. Oh, that's hard. Fast.
Okay.
We'll ask you then. Dinner with anyone in time.
Steve Jobs.
What's your spirit animal?
definitely not a sloth. I'm like a magical unicorn.
Okay, awesome.
Best business book you've read?
Good to great.
TV show you could binge watch.
Ooh, 24.
Nice.
If you could swim in any liquid, what would it be?
Any liquid?
Yeah.
Salt water.
Oh, boo.
If you could turn a fake object into something that was living, what would it be?
Oh, definitely my bread mixer.
Nice. I have one that I wanted to ask him.
Me too. I know what you're going to ask. So we ran out of time, but since we got a basketball guy here, we got to ask Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Oh my gosh. LeBron
Jordan.
James? Are you kidding me? No way. Jordan, man.
I thought you were saying
All right,
we're
there
going to
we
have to
go.
delete this whole
James.
podcast.
MJ, man. MJ.
Michael Jordan. for
MJ,
sure.
hands down.
Sweet.
Thanks for having us, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry for talking so much.
Oh
but
no!
we've enjoyed
And
it.
you guys have
Enjoyed
given
the
so
time.
much good information. I just wanted to see real quick if you guys had like one last piece of advice you would give to a young entrepreneur. What would it be?
Believe in yourself. I think believe in why you're doing things. Understand really why you want to do stuff.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it can't be money. It can't be because I want to make a truckload of money. So know why you're doing something. Believe in yourself.
Well, and know it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Just prepare yourself that it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. And there's no, plan on it taking longer than 5 years.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people just think, it'll just take me a year or 2 years, no big deal, and I'll flip this sucker and then we're good. It's like,
Right.
No,
just
doesn't work like that.
Plan for at least 5 years. So
Good.
Anyway,
Awesome advice. Why
All the
don't
best.
you tell our listeners where they can find you guys if they're wanting to get some Kaktos Socks?
Our website is just kaktos.com.
Okay.
Kaktos,
Yeah.
Kaktos, yeah.
Instagram is at Kaktos. Facebook, Kaktos.
There we go.
We're pretty much just Kaktos.
Yeah.
across the
That's
board.
Easy to remember.
Pretty easy to remember. So for us, it's exciting to meet new people, and we're grateful for all the new customers that we have, or people that are taking interest in our story and want to be a part of what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Cool guys.
connect with us. Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
thanks
thank
for
you
your
guys.
time.
It's been good. All right, we'll catch y'all next week.